Such a long legal career and now chief astrologer, astro judge. Do you see any similarities between law and astrology?
Astrology is the law of the universe, of the planets, of the cosmos. Every kundli or a birth chart is actually a living thing at the end of the day. It's your blueprint. It's like the planets talking to you. Every planet represents certain qualities and values. The ultimate purpose of that planet's so-called negative influence is for you to inculcate those values.
So such a long legal career and now chief astrologer, astro judge, right? Do you see any similarities between between law and astrology?
Yes, I think first of all, I think it's a brilliant question. Astrology and law as professions are very different.
Yeah.
But astrology is also based on a law.
Okay.
And law as a profession is also related to law of different subjects, right?
Right.
So astrology is the law of the universe, of the planets, of the cosmos.
Right.
So each and every thing that we have in our life are interconnected to each other. And astrology is that law which explains it, right? So in that sense, there's definitely a lot of similarity.
Right.
But as an astrologer, so even as a lawyer, when I used to, go and argue cases in the court, I had to, even if I'm arguing a particular case, say, related to a company law, I would still need to be aware of the entire company's act, right? Because any question can, crop up in the judge's mind and I have to answer. The same way as an astrologer, when I interpret a birth chart or a kundli, I have to keep in my mind all the 300 to 500, laws of astrology which are there. How each planet behaves, how each Rashi behaves, and then interpret it. I may not use all of it, but I need to be aware of that. I think that's where the expertise of astrology, comes in, and the interpretation of astrologer comes in. So I found that, astrology is a very logic-driven subject and much like legal studies, and logic is very, very important because everything related to a particular planet, how the planet behaves in a kundli, what are the bhav or the houses in which the planets are placed, what is the dasha running and the transits going on, everything is logical. You'll understand why this is happening. Right? So astrology really seeks to make you feel that, okay, there is a logic and a reasoning behind why everything is happening in your life presently.
I think that's mostly what people end up doing is they don't listen really to the logic and they become more about the outcome. Does it saying about my life or where will I get to? I think it's become very superficial and not like that depth of the interpretation isn't really there, which is why people are so scared of astrology because they think that, the astrologer is going to give them a judgment that this is how your life is going to go. I think astrologer to astrologer, there's a huge difference of, the kind of interpretations they have.
Absolutely. I feel that every astrologer's experience really comes in, when they're interpreting a birth chart.
Yeah.
And that person's experience coupled with that person's intuition.
Right.
That is very, very important. Because experience alone is not important only. It's not the most important because experience can also make you very technical by nature. You think that this means that only.
Yeah.
But intuition can tell you where to look at. Right? And every kundli or a birth chart is actually a living thing. That's why, when we write a kundli, we prepare a kundli, we really revere it.
Yeah.
It's also said that, if you have your own horoscope at home, you should always keep it in a very good condition and not in a tattered place where, the horoscope is torn or, worn out. Because it's your life at the end of the day. It's your blueprint.
Yeah.
So, we really respect the horoscope. It's a living entity. It tells you about your life. So, your interpretation of the planets is like the planets talking to you, right?
Right.
So, that way I really feel like an astrologer's job is to really be the medium. Astrologer is not the most important person here.
Yeah.
He is the medium by which the planets are communicating, to you. About what your life is.
Yeah, but he should get the right message.
If he's a medium who is interfering, then he will try to always, interpret it as per what he thinks is right.
Yeah.
But if he's a very humble, medium, then he can really understand the profundity, of what each kundli has. Because there is no good or bad kundli, right? There is no good or bad astrology also. But there is actually the interpretation. It's a science of interpretation.
Right. So I hear from a lot of people, that I like to believe in astrology, but then there's so many people around me, or maybe my family and friends, who really look down upon me, like because I believe in astrology. There's so many times you look at people and they're wearing those rings, and people get so judgmental. People have that attitude
yeah.
towards astrology.
Sure.
Ki, maybe you have a fearful mind if you believe in astrology.
Right.
So what is your take on that?
I feel that astrology is, a very integral part of our Indian culture of Hinduism, because astrology is something which is one of the most ancient sciences which was discovered by the rishis, the Sapta rishis who were there, right? If you go back, to the Vedas, astrology is considered to be the fifth Veda or the Vedang,
Okay.
which is the Ansh of the Ved.
Okay.
So astrology itself is considered to be a part of the Vedas. Maharshi Bhrigu wrote one of the first sutras which spoke about astrology, called the Bhrigu Sutram.
Okay.
The Bhrigu Sutram is, till date there are astrologers who are Bhrigu lineage astrologers,
Wow.
who interpret it from that angle. Then of course, Parashar Rishi Muni was there, who wrote the treatise Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra, which is like the Bible of, Vedic astrology.
Wow.
And following his footsteps, then there was, his disciples and other people. Later on there was Rishi Jaimini, who wrote the Jaimini Sutra, which is a different sect of astrology altogether.
Wow.
So there are quite a few of them. The recent one was, then of course, in North India in the 30s and 40s, there was this Panditji was there in Punjab. His name was Pandit Roop Chand Joshi, and he wrote the Lal Kitab,
Okay.
which was like a later on treatise of how to use astrology in practical day-to-day life.
Okay.
He made it very simple for the common man to understand.
Okay.
So astrology is a very integral part of the society and the culture. Of course, there are taboos related to it, because a lot of people have used or seen astrology as a escapist tool. Of how astrology can be used only as a remedial thing, that you are trying to get some remedy so that you want some shortcut to get like a job, or
Yeah.
you want to do harm to somebody, like some neighbor is troubling you, so you want to go to the astrologer to say that how do I make sure that the neighbor falls into some trap.
Yeah.
These are like few areas where unfortunately it has become infamous. People come, instead of dealing with those problems directly, they go to astrologers, and somebody has suggested something and something bad happened, and people
And even the
start.
astrologers, I mean, in trying to sell stones or
Yes,
something,
yes, of course.
trying
That
to.
has always been there. I mean, gemstones have been a very big part of astrology. They are part of what we called Ratna. Like the Ratnas have also been written, in Shastras about them. Much later, it's not like it was something which was part of the original Shastras.
Okay.
It was later on that they
Oh,
realized,
all
because
right.
there are certain gemstones which relate to and represent certain planets.
Okay.
Like for sun, ruby is a gemstone. It's also called manik.
Okay.
For moon, pearl or moti is a gemstone. For Mercury, you have the panna or emerald, which is green in
Right.
color.
Right.
So gemstones have a value. Gemstones represent the planets. Of course, to correct your planetary afflictions, you wear certain gemstones.
Right.
But whenever that has gone, beyond a certain level and commercialized, that is when unfortunately a
problem
bad
starts.
name comes, right? Like somebody is creating fear in your mind just so that they can sell you a gemstone.
Yeah.
That is where a problem is. So I think the modern day man is not so gullible anymore, thanks to the social media and information which is available. You can always find out whether what somebody is telling you, whether it actually makes sense. Of course, listen to your own inner gut feeling
Intuition.
and logic. Is this person instilling fear in me, or after speaking to this astrologer I'm feeling better, right? And our philosophy at AstroJudge has always been, right, like we decided that we're going to always make sure that astrology is something which uplifts you,
Yeah.
takes
it's
you
empowering.
from, because let's admit it, when do you go to an astrologer? You
Yeah.
don't go to an astrologer when everything is happening hunky-dory in
True,
your life.
true.
You're going through a certain crisis, or you're going through a crisis of not having clarity, or a proper crisis like a health problem or a financial difficulty, or a divorce, somebody not getting a job for years, or their career being at a stalemate. That's when you go to the astrologer. You're placing all your trust into an astrologer. So it's a very, very sacred job that the astrologer has, right? Like if that time the astrologer takes advantage of you and sells you something, like an expensive puja or a stone, and tells you only when you do this upaya will you get breakthrough. That is where I feel one has to question.
Correct.
It's maybe every puja or vidhi has a certain, purpose attached to it, but it cannot be the only thing that
Yeah.
can change your life. You are the active player, right? Like that's what we believe, and,
Yeah.
and we've seen that in our lives and
True.
lives of thousands of people, whose kundlis we have made. Right? Like when we were able to connect them to what they were supposed to do in their life, then they felt empowered. So I feel that yes, astrology, has earned a bad name also, but I think it is also now, people have started questioning astrologers. People have started studying about astrology. I mean, in this podcast itself, we have so many people who are, people who are interested in astrology,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
who are people who want to know about planets and their impact. So I think we have a big role also to play to
Yeah.
connect them to the right philosophy in astrology.
What advice do we have for somebody who says, I believe in it, but I'm being made fun of, or I'm being judged by family and friends because I believe in it? And
I have, in fact, hundreds of such cases
yeah,
where somebody from one family bought one astrology report.
Right.
So what we offer, it's very easy for people to,
Yeah.
consume that without
Yeah.
telling everybody. You can just
Yeah.
go onto our website and, give your
True.
birth details and order your astrology report.
yeah,
But the best part is not that. The best part is that one person who was sheepishly believing in astrology, after reading his or her report, was so convinced about the power of astrology that they ordered it for each and every member of the
that's
family.
true. We've seen that.
We've
a lot.
seen that actually
Yeah,
happening,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
We didn't ask them to go and buy.
Yeah,
other
and clearly
people's-
those people are reading their reports.
Yes.
So yeah, obviously. It's,
So we are seeing that shift.
yeah,
I mean, ultimately, it has to make logical sense to you. I mean, I can't go and talk about astrology from a very esoteric, abstract point of view, which has no meaning in your daily life. You want to
Yeah.
know how can I lead a better life today? How can I be more successful? How can I have more fulfillment in my life? Like if I have relationships, how can I have more fulfilling relationships? If I have a job, how can I get a job where I know that I am, meeting my potential, where I know I'm earning money and where I know that I'm making a difference to people's lives.
Yeah.
That's
something that aligns with their core values.
exactly.
And their inner
Everybody has that
motivation.
mission. It's just that everybody's mission is different. So your mission is actually captured in your birth chart.
Yeah.
That's the most amazing thing. Which brings, me to the next point in our podcast, which we wanted to discuss, which is the question of astrology in past life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of questions, came to us when parents asked us about, their children and they wanted to know, are we connected to our children from a past life?
Yeah.
Right?
And those relationships can be challenging ones. They can be difficult. It can maybe be a boss or a superior or maybe an in-law, a partner. It's a difficult relationship, right? And you can't help but think कि क्यों आया मेरी life में? Like इसका purpose क्या है? Why is this difficult relationship come into my life and I don't have a power over it? So what do you think? Like why does this happen?
I think it's a very interesting question. So first of all, nothing happens in our life by coincidence.
Okay.
Astrology is a science which interprets the planetary positions in your birth chart, right?
Right.
So each planet represents a certain relative or a person who's there in your life.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And each house in an astrological chart, the 12 houses that we
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
represent a particular area or a relative.
Okay.
And it's very interesting that, you might think that mere life mein ye, for instance, somebody has a, bad relationship with their mother. But do you know that mother is represented by the 4th house in astrology?
Okay.
But you also know that the 4th house also represents your happiness.
Okay.
4th house also represents your comforts in life.
Okay.
So you can't say that I didn't want a 4th house. If you say that I didn't want this particular mother, that means you don't want happiness in your life. You don't want comforts and conveniences.
Oh.
You don't want assets in your life.
Right.
Everything is connected.
Okay.
If you want, happiness, you need to respect the person related to that.
Okay.
I'm not saying, of course, if somebody has a complicated relationship where they can't, feel comfortable respecting the person in their face, at least in your heart, start forgiving and moving on.
But why does that kind of a relationship happen? That's what I'm trying to ask. Like how?
Okay, so astrologically, it has got to do with afflictions.
Okay.
Afflictions are when there are malefic influences in a chart.
Okay.
So there are malefic planets like, Sun, Mars, Rahu, Ketu.
Right.
Saturn. These are very, very strong planets which have strong kind of energy attached to it.
Okay.
Whenever we have a strong energy attached to something, we usually have some sort of an issue. Right?
Yeah.
Like a strong personality is like that. It's not necessarily a bad person. But the strong personality would mean that it would have an impact on you. It's not
Yeah.
a neutral gear planet.
Correct.
So Moon is a very neutral planet. Mercury is a very neutral planet.
Okay.
You know, he's like a person who's got a neutral personality. Who sits with a strong personality becomes very strong.
Okay.
Sits with a very weak personality becomes very weak.
Okay.
So Sun is a very, very strong personality. Mars is very strong personality. Saturn is very strong. Rahu, Ketu are very strong. You know,
Okay.
they are also called the malefic planets.
Okay.
And then there are the benefic ones like Jupiter. You know, benefic like Venus. Benefic like Moon also at certain conditions. Moon also becomes benefic. So you realize that you need both. You need a balance of everything. But of course, depending on the karma that you have got in this life, you know, from your past lives, you have certain afflictions, certain planets which are afflicted in your chart.
Wow.
And because of that, the relative, you know, who's represented by that planet or that house in your chart, you will have problems with that. Like somebody has an afflicted sun, we'll have problems with their boss. You know, we'll have boss after boss after boss will create some problems. Actually, it's not a bad thing. The boss has come to your life to create a challenge. So every planet represents certain qualities and values. So ultimately, the ultimate purpose of that planet's so-called negative influence
Yeah.
is for you to inculcate those values.
Oh.
This also happens during dashas of
Okay.
planets.
Okay.
For instance, if somebody has a Jupiter का दशा going on, उसमें बहुत problems आएंगी life में.
अच्छा.
You forget about your comforts because Jupiter is a very principled planet, very, very big planet, very strong planet. Jupiter is going to create a lot of hurdles and obstacles, but Jupiter wants you to become very value oriented. Jupiter wants you to be very principled by nature, very ethical. Jupiter wants you to think about the larger philosophy of life. Jupiter wants you to respect religion and religious rituals. Jupiter is also knowledge. So these are the outcomes that the dasha has come to create in your life.
Okay.
If you didn't have a challenge, you would have never moved out of your comfort zone. If somebody tells you that from this age to this age you're supposed to be very knowledgeable, on your own you will never do anything if you're not interested in learning. But a Jupiter Dasha will come, it will force you to go back to knowledge, go back, open books, go meet your guru and teacher and learn from them. So Jupiter's Dasha has a big purpose. Similarly, the dasha of sun when it comes. So sun represents your discipline. Sun represents your protective nature. Sun represents responsibility, right? Sun represents a very king-like, you know, nature. King is very responsible, you know. So sun is like, boss, you were a follower till this time. When sun dasha comes, all that breaks when you put in such situations where you have no option but to be the leader. Whenever dashas come, people run to the astrologer and say, मेरे को remedy दे दो ताकि ये दशा ना जाए, इसके कुछ problems ना हो. But they don't understand that the dasha has come
For a reason.
as a gift from the universe. Because in that time, you're supposed to move out of your comfort zone and become supremely punctual and disciplined. It all falls into place, you know, later on in years you realize, oh, because in this tough period I developed discipline, that's why today I'm very self-motivated. So self-motivation comes through sun. Similar thing is with Mars. When Mars ka dasha happens, it's very, very tough dasha in people's life.
Yeah.
Because Mars is the army commander, right? Like planet which rules Mesh Rashi and Vrishchik Rashi. So Mars will tell you how to survive. But till that dasha doesn't come, you have no reason to be a survivor. You may be thinking, oh, everything is going perfectly. I don't need to do anything. सब कुछ हो रहा है automatically. Mars dasha आएगी, सब रुक जाएगा. आपको एकदम start scratch से करना पड़ेगा. आपको basic ground level पे action लेना पड़ेगा. आपको fearless बनना पड़ेगा. Now a person who has been so used to others protecting him or her, shelter of the family during Mars Dasha, nobody will come to help him. As a result, what will happen? That person will become self-reliant. So Mars is self-reliant. So every planet, even if it's a bad planet or a good planet, they come for a purpose. And the relatives related to these planets are also going to
There
create
for a
problems
reason.
and create those. Because how will the planet communicate with you?
Wow, that's a thought, yeah.
Planet will communicate with you through
Through
the
people
relative
and
who is
the-
related to the planet.
My God.
So
Through
moon,
the people, the conditions that life
Yes,
suddenly
yes.
creates, like suddenly you're out
Oh,
of your
absolutely.
job or suddenly things happen.
Yeah.
It's like
So
transformation.
Venus communicates to you through your lover, through your romantic partner, through your wife or your husband, right? Like your spouse. Mars communicates with you through your friends, you know, through your siblings. Mercury communicates with you through kids, Mercury is, young kids, children.
Okay.
Sun communicates with you, with through, say, an authority figure like a boss or a father or a
Father.
teacher. These are the people, who represent Sun. Saturn communicates with you, through the people who serve you. People who are sweepers, people who are, say, the house help. People who are there to, your juniors, low level labor class people. Saturn communicates through them. Then who else is there? Mars. Mars communicates with you, I said, through friends, but Mars also is represented by people who wear uniforms. So the
Okay.
police, army, the naval officers, all these people are represented by Mars. So if Mars की दशा आ रही है, इन लोगों से प्रॉब्लम होगी. But Mars की दशा है, रेमेडी चाहिए, इन लोगों की सेवा करो, donate to a naval charity or a armed forces organization. You'll do very well. Similarly, Jupiter comes your teachers, represented by your teachers, people who are your guru. And so forth. Like Moon is mother. So none of these relatives have come to your life to create problems. They have just come because you have got a big purpose in your life which that relative is going to help you meet. And mostly the problematic and challenge creating relatives are more important in your life than the easy relatives who don't matter. Or by relatives, I mean also friends and people in your environment. Because those are the people who really ultimately lead you to change your life, right? Like a very strong personality in your life will really push you to understand whether you are a leader or a follower.
Yeah, even in trying to get away from them, you're taking a
Yes.
step.
Absolutely.
Even to ignore their point of view. So suppose you have a strong personality who's, challenging you at every step, and you're like, hey, I want to get away from this situation. You'll end up carving your own path to get away from that
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
And in that process, you would have transformed your life. So,
Yes.
but that's really interesting. And you're saying it's all karmic end of the day.
Absolutely, Garmic.
So past life, the concept of rebirth, all that is so clear in astrology. Like
Yeah.
those lines are all just continuing.
Yes. Yeah. Astrology measures it and tells you
Wow.
that what did you do in your past life. So children, are related to us through our fifth house in the
Yeah.
horoscope. And fifth house is also called Purva Punya house. So all the good causes that you create is उनकी बदौलत आपको संतान मिलती है. You get children because of the good or the bad qualities and the causes that you have created, right? By bad causes, I don't mean you will get a child who's bad, but you'll probably have a child who has a lot of problems and issues. But that's not because the child has come in your life, he has his own baggage of problems. He has come into your life because you also have a karmic debt which is there. So, you need to learn about that. You need to become aware that you are not disconnected from the people in your life. You are very much connected. And astrology is a diagnostic tool. It tells you how you are connected. So I feel that way it's phenomenal because there's no other tool like this which tells you how you're connected to this person, that person, or that other person in your life and why are you connected with them.
Yeah, there are also certain people who just, like, I've seen this in my own life, and not even somebody who is my friend, so to speak. But I remember that there was one auntie, who would always pop up at very important junctures in my life. And she was a friend, she is a friend of my parents, and
Yeah.
she would land up when, मेरा class 12 ka subjects were being decided, or when, when I was getting married and she had an idea, like, what needs to happen in the wedding and
Yeah,
all
I
of that.
know.
So it was very interesting how she would come and then she would go. Like, it would be like I would not have that much contact with her. But whenever I needed something, she would just appear magically. And I felt it in my bones. I was like, for sure there's a connection between me and her that she doesn't even know that she needs to give some advice or something. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
So, this is very interesting, something which even I, read a lot about,
Yeah.
who are these, why do certain people appear in your life suddenly?
Suddenly,
You know,
yeah.
they have a limited role to play. They come, they will either do something or tell you something or direct you towards something and then they'll go. Then you realize, in astrology, you understand that these people are represented by Jupiter.
Oh,
So whenever you, in your case, because this person gave certain advice
yes.
and through that advice, you were able to make a correct choice.
Correct.
And I
Yeah.
think this person also gave advice related to education, right?
Yes.
So it's all the more fortifies that is related to Jupiter. So Jupiter का आपका जब भी anantar dasha or a pratyantar dasha comes. So Mahadasha is the longest period of time. The
Okay.
theme of the Mahadasha is decided by which planet का dasha चल रहा है, the dasha lord. उसके under में there are minor periods of time. Like say for instance somebody has a 20-year dasha of Venus. Under that there are say another chunk of Venus ka chota dasha, which is called antar dasha, then Jupiter, then Mars, Moon, all these planets are there in their own sequence. So whenever uske under maybe every day there is a sukshma dasha, pratyantar dasha ke under mein sukshma dasha chal rahi hai, which is a day long, 1 day 2 days long
Oh,
dasha.
okay.
उसमें भी planets का position change हो रहा है, influence हो रहा है. तो जब भी वो आएगा ना, Jupiter का सूक्ष्म दशा आ रहा है, उस टाइम पे Jupiterian
Somebody will
person
show
will
up.
come. मार्स का सूक्ष्म दशा चल रहा है, कुछ आपका प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा उस टाइम, या तो झगड़ा हो जाएगा किसी के साथ,
Yeah.
या लड़ाई हो जाएगी,
Yeah.
मून का चल रहा है, बड़ा एराटिक इमोशनल बिहेवियर हो जाएगा,
Right,
कुछ
right.
होगा,
Right.
मूड ऑफ हो जाएगा, या मूड बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा, ये भी हो सकता है. So everything happens. There's a way of figuring out कि astrologically इसका मतलब क्या है, क्यों हुआ है.
Yeah, because I was foxed. I was like, how does this lady turn up every time that I have really, even I didn't know I need her. I didn't know that, I needed advice in that direction. So it was like a miracle that she
So,
just came and
yeah.
she said, your subjects are all, you need to change them. This will happen. Taking a college will be hard with these subjects. It was just suddenly she came over.
So in your
and-
birth chart, which I have seen, Jupiter is the Atmakaraka. So that means Jupiter is a very strong planet in your chart.
That's why
right?
you tease me, na? That I have to do everything the right
You're a
way.
very
and I'm-
Jupiterian person, right? Yeah. So Jupiter people are very, they're excellent at giving advice. मतलब आपको अगर कभी advice चाहिए ना, तो आपको किसी Jupiter oriented person के पास चले जाओ. Jupiter राशि, Jupiter लग्न, Jupiter आत्मकारक. This person will give you a lot of good advice, and you are a person like that too. Like I have taken advice from you so many times in my personal life. So Jupiterian people who are there, people who have Jupiter as Atmakaraka, for them Jupiter is the functional, it's a benefic planet for them. That means anyone who represents Jupiter will actually come and help you. But because, Jupiter has a certain condition in which it is there in your chart, that person is not going to remain in your life.
Yeah,
That
that's
person
true.
is going to quickly move. But that person has a benefic role to come and play.
Yeah.
So I think it's a pretty interesting thing, like something like this really makes you wonder that, why...
Yeah, it's like strangers say the truest things and
Yeah.
just vanish. It's like one of those things,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Okay, so thanks so much. I feel that's a lot of content that we gave out today on astrology. And I'm sure our viewers would have found it very, very interesting. But we have a lot more coming. So stay tuned for our next episode on the AstroJudge podcast.